Check, 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 check. Mesoscale discussions. There we are. Alrighty. Those shouldn't be showing up like that. I need to change the settings of my mesoscale discussions. So, general. Check, check. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, Monday's a mess. What's going on, Marissa? This shouldn't be rolling out like this. I changed the settings. Discussion settings. Do not animate during playback. Thank you. That's exactly what I was looking for. Okay. We'll let people see what's going on here. Damaging little bow echo headed out east. Headed out east with some small hail towards Topeka, Emporia, Ottawa, eventually Kansas City. Here's our outlook today. Large marginal into a smaller slight and enhanced. Enhanced is mainly over Kansas, although the area I'm watching. Check, check, check. That sounded loud. The area I'm watching. I need to turn this down a little bit. The area I'm watching is kind of this area here. Let's take a look at the satellite. This area where our clouds are clearing. I think we could have a couple of very strong damaging supercells through here, almost woodward out through Enid, through Bartlesville out towards Carthage, down to Tulsa, Stillwater, probably staying south of Wichita, but maybe up to Wellington. That region there is where I'm a little bit concerned about. Air's clearing. That means instability is growing. Take a look at the real-time mesoscale analysis. Temperatures. Nice little Bear Clinic boundary setting up here. We could have storms initiate off the forcing here. Dew point. Dew point gradient as well. Not the sharpest of dry lines, but look at that. There it is. If we have storms initiate here, they're going to move into some tropical moisture out ahead and continue to strengthen. I do also think this dry line down here is going to intensify or going to sharpen up throughout the day in western Oklahoma. Taking a look. Have they updated? Because I would put our biggest tornado risk down here. Let's see if they updated our tornado risk zone. Interesting. So they took the 10% away. Can't blame them. There's a lot of capping out here. They took the 10% away, but they did stretch that 5% further to the south. If you're in this is a 2 to 5% tornado risk. Remember, 5% just means from any single point in this brown area today, there's a 5% chance a tornado could touch down within 25 miles of that location. The green area is 2%. And this SIG-1 hatched region means we could have up to an EF2 plus in strength. You can see what our... You can see what our mesoscale discussion is up here through north central Oklahoma. This does include almost Oklahoma City and Shawnee out to, Stillwater, Pawnee, Ponca City, Enid, Watauga. I'm probably saying some of this wrong, up to Wellington. Let's read this mesoscale discussion. A conditional threat of isolated severe thunderstorms is expected through this afternoon across portions of central and northern Oklahoma. Appreciate you. Hey, John. Suzanne, what's going on? So look, recent visible satellite imagery indicates a deepening cumulus field within the warm sector across north central Oklahoma, and an effective warm front will continue to advance northward throughout this afternoon, with an extremely buoyant air mass preceding it. This air mass is characterized by upper 60 to low 70 dew points and temperatures in the low 80s beneath mid-level lapse rates near 7.5, yielding around 3,000 joules per kilogram of CAPE. Convective temperatures have already been reached south of the warm front. Continuing warm is expected through the late afternoon. Okay. It's currently unclear whether convective initiation will occur, mostly due to lack of significant mid and upper level forcing. Now, if this happens, this is going to be out towards western Oklahoma, I think, along that boundary. One second. Give me 1 second, guys. Combination deep moisture pulling along the warm front and keys. Yeah, we're gonna have an issue with this capping. My thought is that we're gonna have enough forcing out here in western Oklahoma to initiate storms. 3,000 mixed layer CAPE is pretty good. Surface CAPE could be even higher than that. So I think we're gonna get some storm initiation. It may not just be widespread. 1 or 2 supercells maybe today. Tough to tell. We could take a look at the latest HRRR. You know what? Let's go over to... let me get over to Pivotal real quick, so we can actually have the latest. Okay. Let's get into this region right here. We'll just take a look at... we'll cheat first, and we'll take a look at our updraft helicity reflectivity. The latest, 18Z. Shows a supercell popping off here at around 7 p.m. border of northeastern Oklahoma, southeastern Kansas, right around that region. We get a couple firing off. You get one firing off down here in south central Oklahoma. Western Oklahoma, strong supercell right here. This is the area. This is the area I've been talking about that I'm worried about all day. And look at that. I was going to say love to see it. I mean, hate to see it, but I like to see my thoughts confirm. This has been the area I've been circling since this morning. HRRR, the latest run 18Z, is confirming my thoughts. We'll see. Doesn't mean that these storms are going to fire off here. There's a chance we get nothing. If we do have storms firing off, I'm still convinced this is going to be our area to watch. But again, we're seeing storms, further to the south, further to the north. These stronger storms, we're talking about 11 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m., midnight, 1 a.m. up here north central Oklahoma. But look what's happening over central Kansas, eastern Kansas, as we get into 12, 1, 2 a.m. Some strong supercells popping off up here too. So really strange how you have some storms trying to fire off super early, 7 p.m. You get some more up there north central Oklahoma around 11, 12. You get some strong supercells up there central to eastern Kansas, 1, 2 a.m. Just a big mess. And the models are definitely struggling with where the initiation is going to be. Let's look at our temperatures. What's happening here? Clearly, there's our warm boundary. Okay, so we're going to have an area here, kind of like a triple point, where our dew points are going to be like this. So you're going to have forcing from your dry line, and you're going to have forcing from your temperature baroclinic boundary here. So I think this is why I've been circling this area through here, because this is where I think our storms are going to initiate. If we 1 second. All right, so taking a look at our dew points here. Taking a look at our dew points here. We'll get into tomorrow's threat in just a second. Yeah, you can see what's happening. You see this dry line sharpening up here? This is pretty late, though. It's not really... Okay, here's what I actually want to point out here. Here's our convergence. Here's our wind convergence. You can see our dew boundary out here. So what time is this at? I'm trying to figure out exactly where I think these storms are going to initiate. It still looks like right here. It's around 5, 6 p.m., 7 p.m. Right in this region. We take a look at what's happening with our temperatures. And then you can see we kind of have a surface low forming right here. If we're going to get something forming, it's going to be in here. The strongest supercell of the day, I think. Possible we get a strong cell to the south. Possible we get some very strong cells to the north. So everyone out here needs to be paying attention. I'm watching this kind of border area right through here, though. Definitely. Okay. Let's take a look at tomorrow real quick. And just a reminder, this is your tornado threat today. Large tornado threat. Damaging wind threat. Hail threat. Okay, large hail. The red is the highest % chance to see hail. If you're in this hatched area, you could see up to 2 to 3+ inch hail. Let's take a look at tomorrow. Look at this tornado threat tomorrow. This is a gigantic 10% SIG 2 threat. EF3 plus tornadoes possible in this area. We're talking about Cedar Rapids to Springfield, Illinois, Peoria, Davenport, Decatur. 4.1 million people in that SIG 2 threat for strong, potentially long-lasting tornadoes. SIG 1, EF2 plus tornadoes, 19.2 million people on that. Rockford, Aurora, Madison, St. Louis, Chicago. And then you have that 10% tornado risk, St. Louis, Cedar Rapids, Springfield, Peoria, Davenport, everyone in between. I think they're going to relocate this. I'm actually, with the latest runs, paying attention to down here. Strong supercells. We have a pretty decent warm boundary down here. Southern Illinois, Southern Indiana, border of Kentucky. I'm actually watching down here for tomorrow. And we'll take a look.
This severe thunderstorm warning.
We will take a look at this. Let's move over here. And let's take a look at what's happening tomorrow. All right. Look at this warm boundary. Look at this. Look at this. Interesting. Very diffuse setup to the north. Let's take a look at our dew points tomorrow. Tropical dew points pushing right through St. Louis and southern Illinois, out towards Evansville, southern Indiana. Once again, we're going to have some good convergence, I think. Wind convergence right through here. I did get a PDS tour sounding out of St. Louis. So it's something, everyone needs to pay attention out here who's in the risk zones, but I wanted to point out a few things here. Taking a look at our SIG tour. I'll just click here. Curving hodograph, 3,000 joules per kilogram of surface cape rotation. This is an 11.0 effective layer SIG tour param, maxed out SIG tour param. You got loop-de-loops happening in the atmosphere. So dangerous setup around St. Louis potentially. The timing on this sounding I'm pulling is around 5 to 6 p.m. But you see where our SIG tour is. We're very far south. Now we're going to have the potential. I think the thought of why we're not having a greater tornado risk down south here is capping. Whereas our atmosphere is going to be, we're going to have a cooler mid to upper layer atmosphere here, which is going to allow for much easier, which is going to allow the cap break much easier to the north. So even though our SIG tour signal is weaker to the north, it'll be much easier for these tornadoes to pop off. So if we take a look at a sounding up here to the north, we'll look at southeastern Iowa. Still got tour, still got a rotating. Look, there's no inhibition there. So this cap will pop. You've still got that rotation on the hodograph. Obviously, very clear rotating winds with height. I mean, 23 knot shear, 23, 237, storm relative felicity, violent rotation possible. So there's just a better chance of the cap breaking up here and having rotating having supercells form up here. But if we do get one or two down here to the south. I think these are going to end up being the most dangerous storms of the day tomorrow. If we get storm initiation down here, I think this is going to be the most violent storms tomorrow. But the odds are that you have a much better chance of seeing the thunderstorms up here, whereas I think they'll be more violent to the south. That's my thoughts on tomorrow. It's a mess, though. It originally looked like it was going to turn into some sort of QLCS or MCS, mesoscale convective system, and it was going to be one clean line, especially because we have such a nice 500 millibar. So our 500 millibar jet stream helps to organize storms. And typically, if you have a strong 500 millibar flow, you're going to have a somewhat organized pattern, somewhat organized setup. And I was looking at this like, this is pretty decent. We're looking at 80 plus knot winds at the 500 millibar, but it's not organizing. And I think it's because of what's happening down at the surface. We have a pretty robust upper level low. You can see this robust upper level low at the 850 millibar level, LLJ, low level jet. And this is just messing up everything that's happening above it. So we're going to have like a squall line, discrete, isolate it. It's going to be a big mess. I'll show you the reflectivity really quickly. Here's what the reflectivity looks like tomorrow. It's an absolute mess. All of this moisture that rolls through, by the way, tomorrow morning is going to help to stabilize the atmosphere. So it could be a complete dud up here, central to northern Illinois. But anyways, that's going to move through. You're going to get clearing. You're going to get reheating, surface heating. And you can see some strong storms, southern Illinois, southern Indiana, potentially down there towards western Kentucky as well. That's at around 3, 4 p.m. We get another round down there at around 6 to 7 p.m. But look what the latest HRRR does. Nothing to the north. Nothing to the north. And I think it's a possibility. You get a bunch of thunderstorms, rain showers moving through earlier in the morning. Your atmosphere stabilizes, and now you're only left with your tropical moisture to the south with your warm boundary and good enough low-level shear rotation in the atmosphere down there. Southern Illinois, southern Indiana. We'll have to see. Western Kentucky. Interesting little setup there. All right. I'm going to take some questions really quickly, though. I can't stream for that long, but I'll take some questions real quick. I can do a speed round. Should I do a speed round? Strong storms heading out towards Topeka, Lawrence, Ottawa, Emporia, moving through you. Just damaging wind right now. Nice knowing you, Connor. Oh, Matt, I hope you were in here while I was explaining the area that I'm watching. Right in there. I actually wouldn't circle. I would say right through here. It's tropical. It's like you're in the Bahamas. It's tropical moisture through here. You've got your warm boundary, and you've got a nice LLJ. I don't know, if the completely loaded gun setup down here, I'm going to heaven. Holy crap. What do you guys think? Should we do a speed round and I can answer as many questions as possible? I really feel like we should. Thanks, KJ. What's going on, Patrick? So Chicago getting storms? We'll see. You're going to get storms Monday. I don't know if they'll be severe. All right, let's go. Who's got questions? What about Ohio for tomorrow? Well, not too concerned about Ohio for tomorrow. Let's take a look at the outlook. Day 2, categorical. You got a little bit of a marginal risk, slight risk out there in far western Ohio. You might want to watch out. But for the most part, the most damaging storms do look to be out to your west. They're going to completely change this outlook, I think. But we'll see. What about Owensboro? Owensboro's cooked. Is Kansas City getting a tornado? I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just talking to Matt when I say Owensboro cooked. Kansas City it's possible to see a tornado in or around the Kansas City region tonight. Here's your tornado. Here's your tornado risk zone today. So 5% SIG 1 tornado risk for today. So 5% chance a tornado could touch down within 25 miles of Kansas City Metro. And if it does, it could be up to an EF2 in strength. Evansville, Indiana for Monday. Yes, watch out. We could get a strong 1 or 2 strong supercells through that region, capable of producing very large hail damaging winds and a strong tornado. What part of Illinois will be bad? Central to southern Illinois, I'm watching the most. Northern Illinois could be bad. It just looks like it's going to end up being a washout, and the worst storms are going to be to the south. But that could change. I'll have a video tomorrow morning if that changes, in my opinion. What about Fort Worth, Texas? You could see a tornado today down there. If we take a look at the latest model and I pull up the HRRR, here we go. When do we think these storms could initiate? Let me actually go back to the 18Z. Looks like the cap wants to hold on the latest HRRR, but if we did see storms tonight, they'd probably be later. I'd say 10 p.m. out towards 2 a.m. Yeah, overall, I'm not too concerned about Dallas-Fort Worth, but there is the possibility today. That's why you're in that 2% risk zone. 1 or 2 rounds for Kansas City. What's going to be worse? It's weird. You're going to have these storms pushing through today, late this afternoon, throughout the evening, and then you could get a second round midnight through like 3 to 4 a.m. Typically, I'd say the later storms may be worse. If there was a moderate risk today, where would I put it? Like, out here. Like right there. There's not. But if there was, that's where I'd put it.
New information. This special marine warning has been updated.
Do you think we get storms in central Oklahoma? North central. Again, I'm watching north central. Although there's still some models are showing some storms firing off down here as well. They are showing some storms firing off central to southern Oklahoma as well. One second, guys. Say hi to stream. Say hi to stream. Well, my daughter decided that it's time for me to get off. I will be back on later tonight, probably around 8, once the kiddos are asleep. Yeah, I was doing weather streaming. You had to wake up? It's kind of inconsiderate of you. Yeah. All right. Appreciate you guys. I'll be back on later. I'll be updating on my Discord. Join my Discord if you want constant updates. Connor's Climate Corner. Add me. I'll make you part of the Climate Crew, or just click the link below or in the description of any of my YouTube videos. And join the Discord. Oh, if there's a moderate risk, where would I put it for Monday? Sorry, where would you put the moderate risk for Monday?
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has
Yeah, like down there. Down there. Somewhere. Maybe like this. You know what I mean? That's probably where I'd put it. Oh, did the new models come out for Monday yet? Oh, are you talking about the new runs? Yeah. Yeah. All right, I'll be back.